What's up, shitheads? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Andsky S-700 folding bike you see here. Now, this is an affordable option made from the nice folks over at Andsky. Right now, it's currently selling for about $999, but you have to check the link in the description of this video for the current price and also if I have any discount codes for you available. But you know what, guys? We're going to go over all the specs and features. We're going to just go over every single little nook and cranny of this bike, and I'm going to tell you absolutely everything there is to know about the Andsky S-700. I feel like that's enough small talk. What about you? Let's go ahead and get right into it. Here we are up close and personal with the Andsky S-700 folding bike. And currently this is available in two different colors. The white you see here, this is kind of a flat white. You got the silver lettering, and there's also a black color available. This is a 20 by 4 inch fat tire folding bike, and it comes with these CST BFT tires and these mag wheels. Like mag wheels, they can be a little heavier, but they're significantly stronger than the spoked wheel counterparts. Plastic fenders, front and rear. The benefit of plastic fenders are they are quieter. Metal fenders make a lot of noise, especially if you're going to be riding in areas with gravel or anything starts bumping into the fenders. It's going to make a lot of noise. Plastic fenders are quieter. This is a hardtail bike, meaning there's only front suspension fork. It offers two adjustments. It has preload and your compression adjustments here, lockout or open. Another nice little touch I've noticed so far is this bike has these crown nuts on the front and rear axles, and don't mind my cat. A lot of the bikes that you'll see in the market have just regular nuts that you'll see from the hardware store, where this is a nice little touch. These look better. This is a 750 watt nominal, 1200 watt peak geared hub motor. To pair that off, we have this 768 watt hour battery here, which mounts in the frame. Now this is removable from the frame as well, and to do that, you put the key into the unlock position. And at first I thought you had to remove the seat, but check this out, guys. The seat has a little convertible option. So it's the first time I've seen that on a bike. Press this little knob here and the seat comes up. And if you want to take off your battery, just pull it out from there and you can remove it from the bike, charge it off the bike. You can do whatever you want with it. Personally, I always leave them on the bike, but it is nice to have the versatility to store them in different areas or charge them in different rooms, whatever you want to do. To lock it, you need to put the key back in and put it in the lock position. This bike has hydraulic disc brakes front and rear. These are DY Island branded brakes, and they're 180 millimeter rotors front and rear. Cargo rack on the rear of this bike. It says a max weight capacity of 25 kilograms, which works out to be about 55 pounds, I believe. And while we're on weight capacities, this bike is listed at a weight capacity of 350 pounds total between the rider and the cargo. On the Andsky's website, they have different accessories available, different baskets you can get. So the bike comes with this front attachment here, which you can slide on, and then you can bolt on racks and stuff to the front as well. But as it sits with it just like this, I don't have much use for it, so I'm not going to be putting it on for the purposes of this review, but just know that it does come with this as well. To charge this battery, it comes with this 3 amp fast charger. So this is a 768 watt hour battery, 16 amp hour. This will take you a little over 5 hours to charge from dead to full. One thing I wanted to point out is this connector on the bike. I've never seen this one before, but I thought that was kind of neat. And if you want to see the state of charge on the battery, simply press the button here and it'll also display how much charge you have in the battery. This bike is equipped with a 7-speed Shimano drivetrain, with your Shimano derailleur here, your 7-speed freewheel, and everybody's favorite Shimano SIS shifter that you're going to see on pretty much 90% of the e-bikes in the market. This bike has foldable handlebars, which I'll demonstrate in a minute, but it also has adjustable height on the handlebars as well. So there's a clamp here, and you can slide up and down the handlebars to accommodate your height. Andsky states that this bike will fit a rider between 5'6" and 6'5". For reference, this is what a 6'2" rider looks like on the Andsky S-700. This is the seat on minimum height. This is the seat on maximum. Onto the cockpit of the bike. To turn on the bike, you want to press and hold the power button here for a second or so. And keep in mind, you do need to have the key in the battery in the on position in order for this bike to power on. Now, this is a nice color display. I've seen this one on a couple different bikes. I do like this display. Gives you all the basic information you're going to need. Battery life, speedometer, what pedal assist level you're in, and to toggle between, you press the plus or minus arrows here on the control panel. Headlight indicator, whether your headlights are on or off, and to turn on and off the headlight, you press the headlight button here on the control panel as well. You have your information button, which will toggle through your tripometer, odometer, max speed, and average speed. This bike also has a nice horn. Over here we have our DY Island hydraulic disc brake handles, and these feel very firm and reassuring. It's like a quality built unit. You have your rubberized grips with palm support. I like the palm support on these. Makes it more ergonomic for when you're riding. This bike has your Shimano 7-speed shifter that you've probably seen on 90% of the e-bikes on the market. It has your quarter twist throttle, and you'll be delighted to know that this bike is also equipped with turn signals. To use the turn signals, you either choose left or right on the dial here on the left, and that will turn on the turn signal in the rear of the bike. And also, when you use the brakes, it will illuminate the brake light on the rear of the bike. And when the headlights are on, the rear light will always be illuminated, obviously, along with the headlight in front of the bike. To fold the Andsky S-700, you want to move this tab up in the middle, open the folding mechanism. This part can be a bit awkward because the tires will roll, obviously, because that's what tires do. And then you fold the bike in half, and then there's another locking mechanism on the handlebars, and you can fold the handlebars down as well. It goes into a small little package you see right here. Makes it quite convenient for storing, and believe me, I know, because I've personally had this bike folded and it's tucked away in a corner because space is at a premium in my apartment. So I do appreciate the folding capacity of this bike. And look at this, guys. To save that last little bit of space, you can even fold the pedals. So you push in on the pedal, and then the pedal will fold. Just that 1 inch more of clearance can sometimes make all the difference in the world. That is nice. This bike folds into a nice, compact package. Oh, now we've gone over all those boring specs and features. What do you say we take the Andsky S-700 out for a ride? Oh, that's right. We have to unfold it. Let me go ahead and show you how fast and easy it is to unfold this bike. Lock it back into place. Get our handlebars back into position here. Clamp it back down. Fold our pedal back out. Turn it on. Look, guys, just like that, we're all ready to go. Come on, I'll catch up with you outside. What do you say? Come on, let's do the fun part. Hi guys, we are out and about on the Andsky S-700. I just wanted to point out this one thing first, is you need to have the key in the bike in the on position, otherwise the power will not turn on. So I'm not a fan of this. It does add an extra layer of security, so somebody can't just hop on your bike and take off if they don't have the key in it. But I have a tendency of forgetting the key, unloading, bringing my bike downstairs, and then realizing, oops, I need to go grab my key. But nevertheless, I wanted to point that out. You do need to have the key in the bike before you go riding. We're going to go over our obligatory pedal assist settings here. So pedal assist 1, I can tell you, quits out pretty early. It looks like 6 or 7 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2, this bike feels fairly torquey. Gets us up to about 12 miles an hour. Pedal assist 3, looks like about 18 to 20. Hard to tell exactly when. Pedal assist 4 here. We are all the way up to about 25 with 4. And pedal assist 5 is going to take us all the way home. Well, it looks like we're going past 28. It looks like to about 30 miles an hour, which is nice because I feel like that's exactly where the pedaling you're starting to ghost pedal a little bit. So this bike will do about 30 miles an hour. So this throttle is not cutting off at 20 like most class 3 bikes do. Yeah, we're still going. Oh yeah. Looks like this bike will go all the way to full speed on throttle, which looks to be 30 miles an hour. So later on in this ride, when we get on the street, I'll have to give that a try. Pedal Assist 3 has a pretty natural feel to it. It's not overpowering you. I have noticed a few times that there is a bit of a delay when you start pedaling. Yeah, like right there. It looks like it's like almost a full rotation sometimes before the power kicks in. This bike is fairly quiet. I do hear the hum from the motor, but overall, it's a nice quiet operation on the bike. I have bottomed out the fork already, so don't expect a whole ton of travel from the front of the fork, but you know, keep in mind guys, this is a budget-oriented folding bike. This has a suspension seat post, Although, at least with my body weight, I'm about 245 pounds, plus my pack, I'm pretty much just compressing the seat post the whole time. So maybe with a lighter rider, this would actually work as intended, but for me, it's more or less not doing too much. For a 750 watt motor, this bike does feel fairly powerful. That could come down to the weight. This bike is light. By e-bike standards, this is 78 pounds. A lot of bikes and the electric bikes weigh upwards of 85, all the way up well over 100. Another thing I noticed too is, you can see here, I added some grease, white grease on here, because this seat post was really scratched up when I got the bike. This might not be the case for you, but I added some grease on here, and now I can move the seat post in and out. But when I got this bike, the seat post was not wanting to move at all. It was completely dry, and you can see that the seat post itself was scratched up. It was a fairly minor issue because these seat posts are dirt cheap, and yeah, but I wanted to point that out. I can tell you one thing that's nice. This bike is super easy to get on and off of, though, that's for sure. Just step right over this thing. I've never seen a bike with this much room to get on and off of. So I think for shorter riders, this bike is going to be nice because there's not going to be that high mid-step bar you're going to have to step over. This has almost no obstacles when getting on and off the bike. It's 20 by 4-inch fat tires, and these tires are good for a variety of terrain, such as gravel like this, some loose dirt, pavement. These fat tires come in handy in a lot of scenarios. And such one of those scenarios is going to be here, the Planks of Doom. This is a trail cut through, right through the middle of some blackberry bushes, and it's completely surrounded on both sides. So maneuverability is a must for trails like this. And I want to say, guys, I also put flat out in every single bike I ride, because these fat tires are great at a lot of things. They're also great at picking up debris from the road, and they're great at getting flats. So make sure you have some sort of flat protection when you're riding around with fat tire bikes, because getting a flat is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Hello. The size of this bike is making the Planks of Doom pretty easy. I am noticing sometimes, though, the power will kick in when you push the pedal forward, and then when you stop pedaling, the power will still kick in. The power will still be there like a half second after you stop pedaling. So be aware of that, because yeah, it's going to want to keep propelling you forward sometimes, even when you're not pedaling anymore. But always remember, when you're riding a bike like this, the brake handles on both sides will cut off the power to the motor. So if you feel that you're getting power and you don't want it, always remember, guys, hit your brakes. That being said, this bike made pretty easy work of the Planks of Doom. So I'm noticing, yeah, the front is absorbing some bumps. The rear is stiffer than usual. This is a hardtail bike, but another good bonus of these fat tires is the volume of air they have in them. They also kind of work as a shock absorber. So a fat tire bike is going to naturally have a softer ride than the equivalent skinny tire or, normal tire bike. And especially if you want a softer tire, you can also lower the air pressure in your tires. I have these at 25 pounds front and rear instead of maximum of 30. I feel 25 is a nice compromise, but if you want to be softer or you're going on sand, you can also lower it below that. And here's what a 6'2" rider looks like pedaling the Andsky S-700. I feel this is a fairly ergonomic. I don't feel like I'm crunched up. I feel like I can pedal pretty nice, pretty comfortably on the Andsky S-700. Yeah, what do you guys say? Well, how do we look? How do we look out here in the wetlands on the S-700? For a compact folding bike, it does very well like terrain like this. So I could see people wanting to get a foldable bike to stick in their car or have with them as they travel around. You can just pull it out, and then you could, check out your local park. You can go check out some trails. You can do quite a bit of things with a bike like this. I wouldn't do any hardcore downhill trails or anything too bumpy, but you're going to have terrain like this. The Andsky S-700 will have no trouble with it at all. Let's see how fast we can get going on throttle only. 20, we're still going. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And it feels like it cuts off right at 30.5, which is pretty quick. I mean, most of these class 3 bikes kind of struggle to get up to 28. This one seems to do it fairly easily. We'll touch on range a little bit because, the range numbers you look on these websites, they're always drastically exaggerated. Usually it's the claims of people that are 150 pounds riding a pedal assist 1. I'm already showing 4 out of 5 bars. This has a 768 watt-hour battery. It's not the biggest battery, but I would guess if you're riding this thing somewhat conservatively, you know, pedal assist 2 or 3, not hammering on the throttle a lot, you could probably get a range of 30 miles. So I feel that's fairly adequate for a lot of people's needs. This bike feels fairly maneuverable. I wouldn't want to test my limits too much, you know. Keep in mind, guys, this is a folding bike. This is not a performance bike. You know, you see an obstacle in the road, you'll be able to avoid it fast enough. We'll try the little off-road section here. And I think I'm noticing what the issue is with the torque sensor, or the cadence sensor, is I think there's a soft start setting on this bike, especially when you're starting from a dead stop. You start pedaling a few rotations and it's like, you feel the power ramping in instead of just giving you the power. So it makes it more and more subtle, but sometimes I feel like the power just doesn't kick in a timely fashion. Oh gosh, here we go, guys. Surprisingly smooth so far. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah, I mean, no problem with that. All right, guys, time for our brake test. We're gonna get up to about 20 miles an hour and see if we can stop. What do you say? You know, maybe a little points for flair there, but yeah, these brakes are surprisingly great. It's going to take you a few minutes to get these broken in, so when you get this bike and you hit the brakes the first few times, you don't feel much stopping power. Bed them in. It took me about 10 or 15 times, but now these things grab pretty well, and I have absolutely no problem locking up the tires. Time for the hill climb test. I'm already on pedal assist 3, I'm already in the lowest gear. This bike is actually geared pretty low, so I think we'll be able to do this somewhat easy, but we'll see. I'm gonna try it in pedal assist 3 before I crank it up. Okay, we're going up to 5 now. We're doing it. It's taking some effort from me too, though. I can feel those 1200 peak watts in action right now. We're doing it. Yeah, I'm not putting a ton of effort in, but I'm having to put some input into the pedals, but we're getting it done, guys. Cruising about 9 miles an hour up this pretty steep hill, and we're gonna do it. Having to put a little more effort in now. Coming around the home stretch, and ladies and gentlemen, we completed the hill test. It's not gonna be the strongest climber, to the surprise of no one, but I feel like with the gearing and the lighter weight of this bike, you'll be able to climb a surprisingly wide range of hills. All right, guys, so there you have it. That's the Andsky S-700. Some things I like about this bike: it's lightweight. You know, it's lighter than a lot of bikes. It compacts, foldable into a really compact size, so it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's got the 20x4-inch fat tires, a surprisingly decent amount of power, and the hydraulic disc brakes are decent. Good display. You know, all in all, I think this bike's got a lot going for it. Unfortunately, some things I don't like about this bike: this seat post, number one, it's unusable in my opinion. I had to keep tightening it down because it would keep moving. It says the old BMX style clamps to clamp the seat, not the usual ones, and I'm guessing that's to do with the fact that it has the ability to flip up to remove the battery. But the first thing I would do is immediately remove this seat post and replace it. As you look here, it's just completely lost the ability to hold this seat down. So, you know, fortunately, you can get seat posts for really cheap, but unfortunately, yeah, the one that comes on this bike, in my opinion, is just not usable. And maybe if you're lighter than me, I'm around 250 pounds with this gear, you won't have any problems with it, but I had problems with it. So all in all, guys, if you're interested in buying an Andsky S-700, you can use the link in the description of this video. And if I have any coupon codes, I'll put them down there for you to use as well. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace. You know, guys, since the seat won't stay put on me, this is how I'm gonna have to ride home. Definitely don't recommend it, but you know what? Putting this rear rack to the test. Hey, what can you do, right?